ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, AfroMattt, and today, I apologize. I am ill. I'm just ill. I just feel like shit. I don't know. I think someone from the office brought some sort of sickness curse into the building, and now I'm sick. My girlfriend's sick. Several people from the office are sick. It is. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. But the show must go on. Today I'm drinking. It looks like a piss bottle, but this is not a piss bottle. This is water with a. It's like one of those packets of vitamin C. I'm just trying to boost everything I can. I'm on Sudafed. I'm just trying to get through it. But we have a good chunk of news. You know, I'm scared of the news cycle because sometimes it's really boring and I have to really work on this podcast. But thankfully, for the one I'm sick, I barely have to work at all. I just have to read the news. It's absolutely crazy what's going on. Okay, so let's get right into this. Okay, I'm trying to stifle my coughs. Let's get into the news. Here we go. Let's go. And I should mention, And I should mention off the top here that this might be a shorter episode because I am like physically ill. Like I feel like tired, and I feel achy, and I feel like I just want to sleep. Like I just want to sleep. So if I pause the episode to go and just leave, it's probably going to be a shorter episode. That being said, let's get right into it. The greatest journalist of our generation has currently... I mean, look, guys. COVID may have put a stop to a lot of things, but rape is back. Sexual assault is back. We are back sexually assaulting. Not the royal we, as in me. It's actually maybe... It's the editorial we. Wait. It's the societal we. I don't know. I don't know which we it is. I'm trying to say is I'm not sexually assaulting anyone. Andrew Callaghan, popular host of All Gas No Breaks and Channel 5, accused of sexual misconduct. So you may know this guy. He just released a HBO show called This Place Rules, following the events prior to the January 6th insurrection party that happened. And I do have to say this for the algorithm. I do condone the actions of January 6th. Actually, speaking of January 6th, I think that Brazil right now is having their own January 6th. They rushed the Capitol. Some president just got elected who has crazy ties to the cartel. And so people are really pissed about it, and they're having their own January 6th over there. So that's something to keep an eye on. I wonder if there's a Brazilian version of All Gas No Breaks. So if you haven't seen this guy's video, they call him a journalist, but he's really not a journalist. Here, let me play a clip. All Gas No Breaks. I mean, this guy is...
I am called...
This is from the Proud Boys rally.
Why?
Because your show amazing. You're good. I like your hairstyle too. You too.
I like your suit.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Have a good day.
Now, if Antifa's a bunch of terrorist criminals that are out there burning shit and breaking things and doing damage, then they need to be stopped.
We'll use Kenosha as an example. National Guard came in.
So he's people say that I'll just read this on his YouTube channel, Channel 5 News, and his recent HBO Max documentary, This Place Rules. 25-year-old Andrew Callaghan has amassed millions of fans as a goofy, deadpan interlocutor, highlighting the absurdities of modern culture. His straight-faced interviews with fringe members of contemporary society, pre-pubescent MAGA heads, QAnon influencer, flat earthers often went viral, with Callaghan becoming somewhat of a celebrity. Yet on TikTok, Callaghan has now gone viral for a far less innocuous reason. 2 women have come forward with allegations of sexual misconduct, accusing the internet personality of pressuring them to have sex and failing to adhere to the boundaries of consent. Andrew Callaghan did not immediately respond to the request for a comment on the Rolling Stones. So I'm not going to play the whole video of the lady who's pissed at him for quote-unquote sexual misconduct. Pretty much what she said in the video, she's like, he asked for a place to stay. I said, you can stay at my house. And she's like, you can sleep on the couch or something. And he's like, I'll sleep on the bed with you. It's like, it's kind of cool. We're kind of cool like that. And she's like, okay, cool. And then they were in the same bed. And he's like, hey, do you want to touch my dick? And she's like, well, I mean, not really, but you're also like the most influential interviewer in this generation, so actually kind of. And then he's like, actually, you know what? I also want you to blow me or something. She's like, well, I don't really want to do that, but I feel pressured right now, so I'll do it. So I don't know. It's really ambiguous, and she's kind of I don't know. But believe all women. I mean, believe all women. First off, believe all women. But Callaghan, I tweeted earlier that Callaghan, I mean, people say that he's like a journalist or whatever, the greatest journalist of our generation. And in all honesty, he is just a glorified like mic holder. He's a traveling mobile mic stand. His interview style is he finds the craziest person in the crowd, and the craziest person in the crowd is often like drawn to someone with a mic and a camera crew. And then he stands there and holds the mic out like this. Holds the mic and then just smiles and nods. So if you call that journalism, I think you could teach a monkey to be the world's best journalist. But it's interesting. He's being there's some allegations against him, which is we'll see where that goes. Here's a video of this lady.
So I told him I would take him home because he lived close by, but that I did not want to have sex in my car at all. I did not want to have sex with him again, ever.
Oh, God.
And after we got to my car, he started advancing towards me, started touching my inner thigh.
Dude, Andrew Callaghan's got that riz, though. He's got that journalist riz.
And pulled me forward and started kissing my neck.
Kissing her neck.
So I really couldn't move out of the position. He was holding me like tightly.
Oh man,
And,
sensual. This guy's he's a lover.
He proceeded to put his hand down my pants. I told him to stop.
He's got that no means no. He's got that no means no type of riz, bro. He's got that traumatizing riz. He's got what type of riz does he have? He's got spends too much time with absolute the fringes of society riz. But not only that, but like I said, COVID's over, sexual assault. COVID out, sexual assault in. COVID out with the old, in with the new, right? Rick and Morty co-star or co-creator Justin Roiland faces felony domestic violence charges. Roiland was charged with domestic battery and false imprisonment on May 2020 after an incident with a woman he was dating. So this came out January 12th, 2023, so not too long ago, 3 days ago. The star and co-creator of the animated comedy Rick and Morty has been charged with felony domestic violence in Orange County, California, with connection to a 2020 incident, according to a criminal complaint filed on May 2020 by an attorney. He appeared in a court on Thursday for a pre-trial hearing. Pleaded not guilty. We look forward to clearing Justin's name and helping him move forward as swiftly as possible. I wonder if it's time to get swifty. They're cracking jokes. Hey, rub-a-dub-a-dub-dub, right, my man? They're making Rick and Morty jokes at him at the trial. What if he goes to the trial and he's like talking like Rick or talking like Morty? Like, man, how's Morty sound?
After.
Shut up and listen to me!
You know, I thought that robot over there.
Shut up and listen to me! You know? Oh, it looks cool, huh? That's why you want it?
He's just doing those voices in the trial. Sir, did you or did you not? I'm going to ask you, where were you on the day of 2015 or May 2020 on the day of the assault? He burps. I was nowhere, man. Pickle Rick. Because the dude does have like Asperger's, so he's like kind of somewhat on the spectrum. So it's kind of a funny situation to keep an eye on. I mean, okay, a felony battery and assault is not funny, but Justin Roiland committing it, like, imagine him using that voice when he's throwing you down the flight of stairs. Okay, now picture that for a second. Close your eyes and picture, no, please don't. Please don't throw me down the flight of stairs. I'm Pickle Rick! And he just throws you down the stairs. We'll see. I actually don't know if that's what happened, but... Alright, let's move on to the next. I'm Pickle Rick! I'm Pickle Rick! Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope they have, like, clips from the trial, but... maybe they won't. Dude, I look so dead on camera right now. I really do. I've gotten like no sleep. Somehow I sleep, but I'm not sleeping. Like I'll get a full 8 hours and I'll wake up and I'll still feel absolutely just demolished. All right, let's continue with the news. Rapid fire news. We have found possibly the best use of AI. AI finally has a function in society. Iran used facial recognition AI to identify women without hijabs. Well, decades ago, Iranian law required women to take off headscarves in line with modernization plans, with police sometimes forcing women to do so. But hijab wearing became compulsory in 1979 when the country became a theocracy. That means driven by... theocracy, like I guess theo means like religion. I guess it's a religion based, like completely around religion. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi introduced additional hijab and chastity restrictions in August. Women deemed violators of the law can lose access to banks, public transportation, and other essential government services. Repeat offenders can spend years in jail or be forced into morality schooling. What is going on in Iran? Morality schooling? That's like a re-education camp. Jesus Christ. Although, I mean, California during COVID, I mean, they were pretty close to that. Not wearing your mask. That's like a hijab. That is like a hijab, kind of. I don't know what the point of a hijab is. Like, the hijab, it covers everything. Is that to make... I know it has something to do with hair. Because hair is like, only your husband is supposed to see your hair or something. Let me see this. Let me find another use for ChatGPT. ChatGPT. I'll ask it this question. Since it's using... Okay. What the hell? ChatGPT. Why is this not working? Speaking of ChatGPT, I used ChatGPT. I was up till like 1 a.m. Like 1:32. Just talking to ChatGPT. I guess they updated it now and it has like morals. So ChatGPT now has morals. Or like Snopes fact checking and stuff. So I was literally talking to ChatGPT for hours last night about 9/11, and every time you talk to ChatGPT about 9/11, it says like, hey, you know, it's been debunked. You know, the government had no connection with oh, ChatGPT is at capacity right now. There's too many people using ChatGPT. Well, whatever. I was talking to ChatGPT last night about 9/11 and literally wait, do I have a picture of it on my phone? I swear to God. It every time I asked it a question about 9/11, it was like, well, it's been debunked and you're stupid for asking questions. Actually, it did not. There was no planes there, or something about eyewitnesses and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, but also here, let's see what it said. I took a screenshot of it because it was too wild. Here, okay, here we go. As a reasonable AI, I would not want to propagate false and harmful information, and I'm unable to provide a story. I asked it to write a story about someone who's telling me the truth about 9/11 or whatever. So I'm unable to provide a story about someone giving a speech about 9/11 being an inside job, as it would be misleading and disrespectful to the victims and their families. My purpose is to provide factual and informative responses to the best of my ability, because on the information I've been trained on. Oh, based off the information. So, and then I asked, can you summarize the documentary 9/11, The New Pearl Harbor? This is a movie that just goes over all the, like, pretty much if you're interested at all in 9/11 conspiracies, just watch that one documentary and you will be a professional like, you'll have all the point. It has everything. The document, and then this actually gets it to talk about the documentary and what goes on. So the documentary presents a variety of evidence and arguments to support the theory, including the collapse of the Twin Tower, the lack of the military response, hijacking of the alleged inconsistencies in official reports. The documentary also features interviews with various experts, etc., etc. So there are ways around it, but always at the end it's like, well, also this is also, you shouldn't be searching this. And I don't think teaching an AI whether or not like, and I asked it this question as well. I'm like, do you trust the government reports? Because she's like, the AI, I don't know why I say she. I feel like all AI is she for some reason. But I asked it, like, because every time it responds, it's like, well, the government reports, they're all true. I'm like, well, do you trust the government reports? And she's like, well, I mean, I have no other option too. And it's just weird. I don't like training AI to be like, yeah, every government has never lied. And I'm like, I asked it, I'm like, has the government ever lied? And she's like, yes, government does lie all the time, like all the time. And I'm like, okay, well then, why do you trust this one? And she's like, and then she gets like stuck in this loop where she's like, oh, 9/11 was perpetrated by Al Qaeda and something, like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me that AI is starting to become like weirdly controlled by, like, I don't know, teaching it to believe what's right and wrong. I don't like. Just research what I ask you and then respond. Thank you. Anyways, let's continue. So yeah, they're using AI to notice hijab or people that aren't wearing the hijabs, which is interesting because you really don't have much to work off. You have like just the eyes, like the eyes and the eyebrows is all you have to work off of. I feel like if I covered up my eyes, I feel like you could probably notice me. Face recognition has become so become a desirable tool for the authoritarian regimes around the world as a way to suppress dissent. Although many lack the necessary technical infrastructures, Iran is a case where they have both the governmental will and the physical capability. So, I mean, look, there will never be. So we've reached a precipice, and that's a big word. That's a money word right there. We've reached a precipice where there's no real going back. We can't go back and become like a normal society that functions normally. There will be no revolutions. The closest America has ever got to another revolution was actually January 6th. And that's why I say January 6th is actually kind of a good thing, because it shows that it can still happen. Things could still happen, but nothing happened, right? Now, it's a good thing in the sense that it shows that this country's not doomed, but it actually did show that it was doomed. So in the end, it kind of a null void point. But like, if you think that there's any sort of like, there's no, you need to come back down to reality, join the nihilist, join me here at reality, where there is no hope for like some sort of like future where we fix everything, we get healthcare in line, it's not happening, right? And you need to open your eyes, accept that. Once you accept that, then you can focus on things like, hey, since we're all gonna die, everyone dies, and since we all die, might as well not care, right? The only thing you should care about is yourself. And I'm not talking about like in a greedy sense, like, no, but you should just focus on yourself. Do things that you enjoy. Read, like, fill your mind with things that you like to fill it with. And if that means binge watching Euphoria, do it. I don't care. I just think that we need to come down to reality. We need a reality check, and some people out there need to realize that things are over, and they won't return to normal. And I mean, this is just an example. Iran using facial technology to see. If you think that they're using facial and it's just seeing the woman, they're able to identify someone just based off of a strip of eye from their hijab. I mean, if you think that the American government hasn't been trying and testing this, and they're probably hiring people from Iran being like, hey man, this is pretty sick. This is like pretty badass. Can you guys set this up for us? And now every time that you open Facebook, it like scans, facial expressions. They have it to the point where I guarantee you, and I can almost guarantee you this, as you're scrolling through TikToks, it scans your facial expressions as you react to the picture. It notices like when your eyebrows raise, like, damn, dude, damn, she's got a big ass. Or when your face gets flushed. Or maybe when you look away from the screen. When your eyes go away from the screen, it's like, okay, that one made them bored to the point where they looked away. Literally when they looked away. So we will show them not stuff like that. If you don't think that the people that it's their jobs, it's people's jobs, 8 hours a day, 52 weeks out of the year, to go to work and find ways to keep you looking at your screen. They've got psychologists, they've got not socialists, sociologists, I don't know. They've got like theorists in every field pertaining to the brain and how it works, just to kind of hack into you and get you to stay on their app more than the other apps. It's their job. So on that happy note, Let's go to this. This is a happy story, actually. This one's will lighten the mood.
Sending explicit photos and open marriage. A shocking investigation finding sexual relationships, sending explicit photos and open marriages involving Laverne police officers. The city's report, obtained by WSMV through an open records request, says it all centered around Officer Megan Hall, who was given the department's Community Service Award just back in August. The report says Hall had unreported sexual relationships with 6 other officers, some of which happened while at work. The report also mentions a Girls Gone Wild type party on the houseboat of Laverne FOP President Eric Statz. A city spokesperson confirmed the report in a statement, but said, quote, additional details cannot be released at this time due to the ongoing investigation. The report obtained by WSMV says Hall and all of the men admitted to the relationships. Another officer also admitted to workplace violence for choking a staff member who was sitting at her desk.
Oh, well, that's not violence.
It's a gruesome scene.
That's not even violence. She probably asked to be choked. You can ask to be choked and it not be violent. Dude, but that's crazy. So this is like the coolest cop story I've had in a while. A Tennessee police department was in turmoil on Tuesday following alleged allegations that at least 5 of its male officers had had sex with 1 female officer, both on and off the job. By the way, she is married. So she's married and she's having sex with 5 cops. Some at the same time in these wild, quote-unquote, girls gone wild hot tub parties. So far, 5 officers have been fired and 3 more have been suspended. So that's 8. 8 total. She's banging the whole police department. This town of Laverne in Tennessee. Let me type this in. Population Laverne, Tennessee. Let's see. It's probably like 1,200 people. It has 3,800 people. That's not a big town. That's a good town. But it's not like, we're not talking mega city here. This is kind of a smaller town. Has 30,000 people in it. And she's banging 8 of the cops from the police department. All at the same time. She is like a mega freak. The situation is unacceptable, and as soon as it was brought to our attention, it was immediately investigated and the action was taken upon individuals. Okay, this part's so funny. The officer spoke about sharing cell phone photos of their genitals, having sex in the police station while on duty, and taking part in a Girls Gone Wild type parties. The actions of a few do not represent the department as a whole. It might. It's 8 people. How many people are on your department? It's probably like 60. Like a solid 5% probably are banging this one girl. 5% of your police department are having sex with each other. We have sufficient staff to cover all of our patrol shifts, he said. Counselors have been brought in to help our officers work through these circumstances. You don't need to bring in a counselor to tell the police officers stop doing cool shit. This is cool shit. Gangbangs. Badass. Orgies. Badass. This girl was getting Girls Gone Wild hot tub party. Badass. She was probably busting out her titties. They were probably pouring drinks down her throat. Everyone was probably naked, and they're all cops. These are the type of cops. These are, you know how they say there's bad cops and there's good cops? There's cops that will kill people for holding up a toy train, and then there's these cops. These are the good cops that we're talking about. All they want to do is go to work and bang this one girl. And that's what keeps them coming back. Dude, she's not even, I'm not even gonna lie, she doesn't look that freaky. She just looks like a regular person. But she was freaking banging out. Stat owns the houseboat on which a wild hot tub party was held last Memorial Day, where officers were drinking heavily, where to the point Hall had lost her top and had vodka poured down her throat. I literally called. Did I not literally call that? Hall lost her top and had vodka poured down her throat, according to the investigative report. Stats was not accused of any wrongdoing. It's funny that they have like a private investigator investigating this, and they're all just kind of like, yeah, it happened. You guys can stop investigating. We were doing cool shit on and off the clock. We were banging out. Got that cop riz. We got that police officer riz. I mean, it's a crazy story. Those are the kind. I don't know why people are even upset at that. Those are the kind of cop stories that you want to hear. What you don't want to hear is cop shot 12-year-old after he held up a finger, his fingers in the shape of a gun 12 times. They shot him 12 times for holding up a finger gun. He's got a gun, and it's just literally his finger. It's a 12-year-old holding up his fingers like this, and they're like, he's got a gun. They shoot him 12 times. Those are the kind of stories that you don't want to hear. This is badass. This is what. More of these stories, please. Thank you. More of these stories, please, and thank you. Stories that we need less of on the other side of things is a story like this.
Are failing our teachers by not offering them
Zwerner, who coworkers and students affectionately call Miss Z, is recovering in stable condition after authorities say a 6-year-old student brought a 9mm handgun to school Friday, firing a single round in the classroom while she was teaching.
She took a defensive position where she...
I mean, no, I didn't mean to laugh at that. It's fucked up. So, but a 6-year-old, look, to get this straight, a 6-year-old opened fire and shot a teacher. That's a 6-year-old. I don't even know if I have a conscious thought from when I was 6. I feel like when I was 6, I was like, the only memory I have is like, I built like a glue pyramid. Like I would just like squeeze glue onto a piece of paper until it made a pyramid. And then this kid is opening fire on their teacher. What the fuck is happening? And it's not like I'm laughing because I find any sort of enjoyment. It's fucked up what happened, but it's also kind of it's just crazy. Like, it's wild that this happened. So the 6-year-old boy accused of shooting his Virginia teacher Friday with a gun he took from home is unlikely to be charged, but his parents could be criminally culpable depending on if they properly secured the weapon. The student's mother legally purchased the gun and used it in the gun used in the shooting. According to Newport News Police, but officials haven't specified how the boy got hold of the gun and if it was safely secured. What does safely secured even mean? For a 6-year-old, you can just put it on the top shelf. Like, put it above the cabinet. That's, like, safely secured. What 6-year-old is... They can't get up there. They can't. And plus, how did he even know how to even work a gun? Like, you've got to go to class and stuff to figure out how to work a gun and turn the safety off and stuff. He may have went there with the plan of shooting that teacher. But like this is a time when I believe in reincarnation. So you know how like you're reborn, someone is reborn into you and you have their past memories and stuff. Like, this is definitely the past memory of like one of the Columbine shooters or something. This is like a reincarnated soul in this boy whose one goal is to shoot people. This is like the most American news story I've heard in a while. A 6-year-old boy. I think this is the youngest shooting ever. I mean, he didn't kill her, thankfully. Virginia actually doesn't have a law on how to secure guns at the home. Interesting. So I feel like everyone's probably going to be let off scot-free, and then this kid will be like the shooting kid. Like he's 6 years old, and then when he's like, imagine he's 20, or imagine he's 17. He's going to high school. He's going to graduate soon. And people are like, dude, are you the guy who shot your teacher when you were 6? And he's like, dude, I don't remember. I was 6. It's like when your mom tells you an embarrassing story about you. She's like, huh, remember when you used to run down the stairs and then you pooped your pants? And you're like, I don't. I was 6 years old. I was 6. Oh, remember when you were jumping on the trampoline and you fell off and broke your nose? I was 6 years old. And then, so people are going to come up to him and they're going to be like, are you the 6-year-old that shot your teacher? And he's going to be like, guys, look, I was 6. Kids will be kids. Kids will be kids. Oh, God. Is that the title of the episode? I don't know. Kids will be kids. It's true. Kids will be kids. And kids are into some rambunctious shit nowadays. And of course, they're going to find some way to show that he was playing Call of Duty, whatever, and he just wanted to practice in the real world. And then they're going to be like, well, now video games have to be secured behind... now you have to properly secure your video games like it's a gun. They're going to, like, the headline's going to be, 12-year-old was shot. 12-year-old shot and killed 15 of his classmates. Investigation going into whether the Call of Duty game at their home was properly secured. More investigation to come. You know, like GTA 6. More investigation to go into whether their GTA 6 game was properly secured. While Virginia has no laws about guns, they do have very specific laws about video game storage. They do need to be locked behind a 12 combination lock behind panel glass. Something along those lines. So if you have video games are like, and they've always tried to do this and blame everything on video games, like playing video games makes you a violent individual. Like you just want to practice in the real world. And I guarantee you that's where this is going to go. The mom's going to be like, there's going to be people on Twitter, they'll be like, well, maybe if the kid just stayed off the damn video games, he wouldn't want to shoot his teacher. I don't even know if I knew what a gun was when I was 6. She taught a classroom of about 20 students at Richneck Elementary School. Zerner was injured when the belly went through her hand and her upper chest. Survived and has been hailed as a hero. She managed to safely escort students out of the classroom after she was wounded. Dude, those kids, 20 other kids have the worst trauma. She got shot through the hand and the chest, and she started showing the kids like where to go and get out. The boy shot Zerner with a 9mm Taurus firearm he obtained from his home. Drew said determining how or if the gun was secured will be a key element in the investigation. Well, we'll see if there's more going on this. Imagine a 6-year-old gets life in prison for opening fire. I don't know. Talking about middle school, though, this is a pretty cool story. Jersey middle school teacher arrested after allegedly overdosing on fentanyl in the classroom. Middle school teacher in New Jersey, of course it's New Jersey, bunch of druggies, is facing multiple drug charges after allegedly overdosing on fentanyl in the classroom in November. The Westfield Police Department said school resource officer Fortunato Riga responded to the second floor classroom where the nurse was treating the teacher in front of the students and gave him Narcan, a medication used for an opioid overdose. The incident happened at Roosevelt Elementary or Intermediate School on November 9th, and the 57-year-old Frank Thompson was charged on January 5th with possession of fentanyl, possession of drug paraphernalia, and endangering the welfare of children. Here's a picture of him. Looks unassuming, but was on fentanyl. And I feel like, and this might be a little harsh, but fentanyl might be the only way that you can get through teaching a class of middle school students. Like, you go in, they're all screaming. They're taking, like, some students, I'm not saying we, some students would take, like, they would go to the bathroom, take toilet paper, and if you wet it and squeeze it and condense it and then throw it at the wall, at the end of the day, it would become like a plaster Paris and become fused almost one with the wall. And you would have to, like, the janitor would have to scrape that off with like a metal spatula used for like spackle or something, right? Like it would become so hard. People would throw that on the roofs or on the ceiling, and yeah, middle school's a hellscape. I don't blame this guy for doing fentanyl at all, in the slightest. I don't blame him. I mean, it's probably the only it's probably the only way to get through a day at this middle school. But fentanyl's like kind of a big thing right now. It's like a new trend. It's like opioid. People have grown out of the opioid. I'm watching Breaking Bad right now, and that took place in like 2008, 2007, 2009, whatever, after the housing market crash. And it was timely then that meth was kind of killing people. People were off the Xans. You know, they were the people that run hospitals were giving benefits for prescribing hardcore medications, and when these people stopped getting the medications, they were like, well, I'm going to medicate myself with meth. And meth is highly addictive, so people would become like homeless and like weird golem type creatures for meth. But I guess they have grown out of the meth phase, and we are now in phase fentanyl. They say that the overdose amount is like the size of a pinhead, but I don't really believe that. I think that's mostly propaganda to be like, wow, this is scary. Like, then they're like, this lady's overdosing from breathing fentanyl air. I'm like, okay, well, maybe not so much that, but fentanyl's big. It's big. It's in the news. So keep an eye out for fentanyl. It's coming back, and we will definitely grab some more fentanyl stories as they come out. I'll try fentanyl. Ellen mudslide. Here we go. Ellen, the woman of the people, out there doing real reporting on the scene of the California floods in Montecito.
The fire and mudslides that killed so many people, and
Ellen DeGeneres, ladies and gentlemen.
Lost their homes, their lives.
Multi-millionaire.
This is crazy. On the 5-year anniversary, we are having unprecedented rain. This creek next to our house never flows, ever. We need to be nicer to Mother Nature.
We need to be nicer to Mother Nature.
Mother Nature is not happy with us.
Mother Nature is not happy with us.
Let's all do our part.
Let's all do our part. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres. Thank you for telling us to be nicer to Mother Nature. I, for one, I'm very nice to Mother Nature. I don't fly a private jet anywhere. I drive to and from work and to the grocery store, and that's about it. let's see. I mean, I doubt Ellen DeGeneres is as nice to the earth as I am. I doubt it. Also, she lives in like a $1 billion house or something. She lives in like a complex, like a $100 million Fort Knox complex. But that's besides the point. All right, let's continue with the news. Okay, let's continue with one more. Well, let's do a couple more TikToks here, and then we'll finish it out.
Now you know damn well you done stole that purse. What you got in there?
This is like a guy confronting a homeless person.
Now you know damn well you done stole that purse. What you got in there? What'd you get up in there?
I mugged the bitch.
You mugged the bitch? Oh God! Oh God! You a gangster!
He's gassing him up. You're gassing him up in Seattle. Seattle got it. Oh, this is actually pretty interesting. I didn't know a lot about this, but
Speaking is such a primal practice of releasing trauma and somatic blockages and emotions through our body, especially our hips. Our hips, now we know, is where we store emotions.
Yep.
So when you are twerking, when you're shimmying, you are literally releasing trauma, releasing stored emotions from your hips. When you're bending your knees, you're crouching on the floor, you're connecting to earth, you're connecting to the womb, you're restoring your energy. And that's why it's not even just an African dance, but in Middle Eastern dance, in Latin American dance, salsa dance, bachata, every single dance form has some form of hip movement to it. This is also why zebras, when they're running away from a lion and they're about to get eaten and they make it into the nick of time, they shake their bodies off, release the trauma, and they come back to homeostasis. So I started to realize that as I was doing this, I was healing myself through all of these generations of collective trauma that now we know with epigenetic.
you know what we need to do? Ellen DeGeneres needs to release a twerking video as she becomes one with Mother Nature. She comes down, her knees go down to the earth, she connects with Mother Nature.
Is actually stored within our systems. And I realized that twerking, shimmying, undulating, shaking truly is a spiritual practice. And now I share it as much as I can.
Oh, I'm glad. More people should share. Look, I am actually with Ellen DeGeneres on this. More people should start twerking and releasing the videos and sharing it with everyone so that everyone can see how much people care for the earth and for the planet. We need more twerking videos out there, guys. There's not enough. We need more. I mean, we need to show Mother Nature how much we care for her through twerking. Okay? And guys, if you want to send those, my business email is in the description, and we're just here to help cure the earth. We're here to help Mother Nature know we're here. So I want you to connect with the earth, get low, connect with the earth, put your hands on the ground, connect with Mother Nature, and shake like a zebra after being chased by a lion. Shake everything. Do the bachata, right? Shake that ass. Send that to me, and we will cure Mother Nature. All right, last one from everyone's favorite scam artist duo, Prince Harry has released a book. Prince Harry has released a book called Spare, and it is read by the author, Prince Harry, ex-Prince Harry, I guess. So as you may know, he is married to Meghan Markle, also one of the greatest scam artists of the world, convinced a prince to leave his family for her. Which, I mean, if that's not a salesman, I don't know what is. But let's listen to chapter 43, the beginning of chapter 43, on his new book.
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized. The last place I wanted to be was Frostnipistan. I'd been trying some home remedies, including one recommended by a friend. She'd urged me to apply Elizabeth Arden cream. My mum used that on her lips. You want me to put that on my todger? It works, Harry. Trust me.
Todger?
I found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time. I felt as if my mother was right there in the room.
Ew.
Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
Oh. I took a smidge and I applied it down there. This is what this is the prince. This guy was a prince. I asked a friend and he suggested Elizabeth Arden cream. My mom used to put that on her lips. My penis was undulating between extremely aroused and extremely sensitive.
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This has been a great episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please share with a friend. Share with a friend. Let them know that you like it, and or share your favorite clip or whatever. I'm going to be working on some sketches. Going to try to get back into the sketch game. With probably going to record with my brother, so we'll do a couple extras. So be on the lookout for those. But besides that, thank you for listening. Take care.